What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today's video is something I actually didn't want to talk about much, but I want to share this with the world because this story can help others. How did I live on $50 a month in college while being almost homeless? So, story time. About 2018, I was starting my first summer college courses, and I was starting courses in actually chemistry, which is like, if you've ever taken science classes in college, like chemistry is like a foreign language. So I'm starting these classes. My grandpa had died. The school also had there was something that happened with my financial aid, so the school took me off of financial aid. Had no money, had to do the classes, and man, so I had nowhere to live, at least for the first few nights. So I hit up my boy George, and then he said I could stay with him at his own place. So man, George set me up with like a room. I paid the guy, that landlord, like $200, so I was left with like $50 that month to survive. And this was actually one of the best experiences in my life, right? I was somehow able to actually gain weight on $50 a month. I was able to eat well while only having $50 a month. I was able to actually get new clothes while having $50 a month. Now, how did I do it? Before I tell you how I did it, I want to preface this with saying that this was like a situation that was like a challenge I had never faced, but I'm glad that I had to face this and I had no help, because it actually helped me learn something new about myself. And this is what you can take away from any challenge in life. Because I only had $50, I had to actually put my ego aside and tell my buddy George, like, hey dude, I only have $50. Let's see if we can work together. And George only had like $70, so it wasn't much for both of us. We put our money together, we pulled food together, we cooked food. We actually went to the dollar store, and they had these like rice packets called jambalaya. We got like 15 of those rice packets. It was like seasoned rice. And we got like 10 bags of tuna. That was like $20 in total. Then we got like $30 or $40 worth of like chicken breast, red meat, things like that, and ground beef. And now we were almost at like $65. And then we got like a few juices, a few Arizonas actually, so it wouldn't be like we're living like a military life. And man, like, we meal prep, we rationed our meals, and somehow we're able to survive with just $50 for the month. And then like times that we also like we're running out of meals, like I would go to like the food pantry on campus. So every school has like a food pantry. I would also go to like my buddies are working at like Starbucks or Subway. Before, like when the store closes, they always have food that they're throwing out. So I always pull up and I would like say, guys, like, listen, I'm struggling, like, can I have some of the leftovers? And they'd give me like platters. And this was just because I built relationships with people. So man, so in my lowest moments, like, I was able to eat well, I was able to lift my weights and actually gain weight, which is cool. And then like clothes, like I was able to like negotiate with my friends. I had a friend that was doing resell in China. So he needed someone that spoke Cantonese. So I went online, I found people that spoke Cantonese, and I just connected them, or connected people on campus that were speaking Cantonese. And from that, I was able to get free clothes, right? So it was like that summer was like the summer of relationships, because I lived off of relationships. I got housing based on knowing someone, right? I got food based on knowing people. I got clothes based on knowing people. So I was like, damn, relationships can take you far in life. And that was like the craziest thing I learned. Like that summer I had a lot of fun. No one knew about my situation. I didn't complain about the situation, but no one really knew. And it was cool because I really had no help. I was kind of like out on my own. I think that in a man's life or a woman's life also, like, you need those situations where like you're kind of like fighting with your back against a wall. In boxing, we call that like against a corner, against the ropes. We have to cover up and you have to counter fight, because you really see what you're made of. And like I used to kind of resent hard times, right? I was like, man, hope I don't have to go through these situations. But I see that like I went through a million hard times, and like if you have a difficult situation, you don't see it as difficult. You don't kind of take that in your mind. You don't have this like mental block on like the situation. You can actually deal with it in the right way. And that's what I've seen in myself. Like college is like a big test of that. And now in medical school, I deal with situations that, there's exams I failed before in the past. There's things on the floor. There's people that you deal with that are challenging people. There's long hours. There's 24-hour shifts. There's like the confusion sometimes where you don't always feel like you're the best, or you're like there's a confusion where you feel like you don't measure up with other people. There's these stressors. There's me living on the East Coast in a different state and going to school in another state, having to commute all these different hours, and having to wake up at 4 a.m. and 3 a.m. and sleeping like 4 hours a night and 3 hours a night. And like at first, when I first started this, like if I didn't go through what I went through in college, I would have resented the situation. I had a different opinion about it. But because I know that these things are forging my character, I take it all, enjoy it. I pull up happy because I know like this isn't making me better, but this is also like my hero's journey. See, something I always wondered and always thought about, and something that I do to this day, is like I tell people that I talk to, like, you want like a life of adventure. You don't want that life that everyone has lived, the life where you go home and like At least when you're young, you don't want the life where you go home and you just have your job and that's it. You want a life where you're actually forced to deal with different people, you're forced to deal with different challenges, different problems. That's what that story of living on $50 a month taught me, and that's what like I've taken into life. So that was kind of like a big thing I've been reflecting on this week, and it's something that you can use. Like, relationships can keep you alive. Knowing someone can help you get a scholarship, right? I'll tell you this, like, I've gotten scholarships because I found someone on YouTube and I asked them, and then I formed a relationship, and then they helped me, mentor me, to help like give me scholarship money, to help me just expand my networks or relationships. And you'd be surprised what people will do if you form a good relationship with them. So that's the biggest thing, like the power of relationships. And that helped me survive $50 a month in college. Oh man. One thing I always want to say is like something that you could take in your life is like the power of reflecting. Like, you want to reflect on everything that happens in your life, and you want to look for patterns, because patterns tell you a cause. If there's a pattern, right, a pattern of you losing your keys, a pattern of you coming to work late, maybe the cause is that you're going to sleep too late. You're playing video games at night, or you're talking to your girl, you're on the computer, you're on YouTube, you're wasting time at night. And that's causing you to sleep later, which is causing you to wake up barely on time, which is causing you to rush yourself and lose things on the way, which is also causing you to get to work late. See, the cause is that the cause happened 12 hours ago at night, but the effects are felt in the morning. So if you're reflecting on your time, you say, okay, this is like the 6th time I'm late this week. You understand that, wow, like there's certain trends, there's certain patterns in my life. And if I just observe the patterns and I get to the cause, I fix it, and voila, things are better. So like, reflect on your life, and also see the value of relationships. All right, guys, that was my spiel today. Yvonne out. Hopefully this video helped you.